Good evening. My name is Stan Walczyk. I'm the chairman of the board. It's great seeing everyone in person. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Please join me in thanking the staff of Proprietors Lodge, our AV expert Ryan Caudry, our American Sign Language interpreters, and our Greylock team. They've all done a great job in organizing this evening tonight. Thank you. I'd like to recognize the head table, starting from my right. John Bissell, Greylock's president and CEO. Jamie Ellen Munchecki, Greylock senior vice president and chief administrative officer. Dennis Egan, our legal counsel from Cohen, Kinney, Valicenti, and Cook. And on my left, Diane Sopranowicz, Senior Vice President, Senior Financial Officer. And James McGough, our independent auditor from Wolf & Company, PC. I would like to call the 88th annual meeting of the Greylock Federal Credit Union to order. And please note, the clerk has advised me that a quorum is present. If you would like to win a door prize this evening, please make sure that you've completed the blue door prize ticket. Raise your hand when completed, and staff will be around to collect them. Also, please be advised that any member who wishes to address the assembly throughout the evening must raise their hand, ask to be recognized, and remember, only members may address the meeting and vote during this annual meeting. I would like to now have a motion to waive the order of the meeting as required by the Greylock bylaws. Is there a second? Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. I ask for a motion to waive the reading of last year's annual meeting minutes and accept them. Is there a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion is carried. Thank you. This year we have an uncontested election for the 3 openings on the board. And because of this, registration of members attending this meeting was not required. As I introduce the nominees, I want to say how fortunate we are to have a group of community leaders serving on the board and the supervisory committee. Their backgrounds cover education, healthcare, management, IT, human resources, finance, accounting, community development, and much more. It is this level of diversity that ensures the integrity of our credit union as we continue to move forward. I am pleased to introduce the slate put forth by our nominating committee. When I call your name, would you please stand to be recognized? Sheila LaBarbera for a 3-year term. Sheila is the executive director of the Berkshire Retirement Board. Kelly Kroc for a 1-year term. Kelly is the Senior Advanced Human Resource Business Partner at General Dynamics. And Gerard Burke for a 3-year term, former President and CEO of Hillcrest Educational Center. Unfortunately, Jerry cannot be with us this evening. May I have a motion to instruct the clerk to cast 1 ballot for the slate of candidates as nominated? Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations. We have another director who was unable to join us tonight, and that was Director Tyrone Jackson. I would now like to thank the rest of the board of directors along with the members of the supervisory committee. When I call your name, please stand to be recognized. Peter Lopez. Peter is the founder of the Field House at Canaan, an indoor sports training facility. Crystal Blake. Crystal is the engineering technical manager at General Dynamics. Anthony Rinaldi. Tony is the executive vice president of Fairview Hospital. John Law. John is retired vice president for administration and finance and chief financial officer at Berkshire Community College. And our supervisory committee members, Allison Bedard, senior manager at Malden and Jenkins, and our supervisory committee chairperson. Crystal Blake, the engineering technical manager at General Dynamics. Laurie Broderick Bean, senior accountant at McMahon and Vigent. Brian House, vice president of youth development at 18 Degrees. And Catherine Chacon Ortega. Catherine is the tax accountant with Smith, Watson and Company. Thank you, directors and supervisory. I now ask for a motion to recess the annual meeting and convene a special meeting in regards to expelling members who have caused the credit union a loss. Thank you. Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. I now call the special meeting to order. May I please have a motion to approve expelling members for any of the following reasons. Anyone who abused services through fraudulent activity, caused a loss to the credit union, used threatening, abusive, or inappropriate language or behavior, or violated the credit union's federal bylaws since the 2019 annual meeting. Thank you. Is there a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. And now may I have a motion to adjourn the special meeting and reconvene the annual meeting? Is there a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you all for participating in the formal business of your credit union. I would like now to offer a few reflections before we hear the financial report for 2022. On behalf of the Greylock Board of Directors, I'd like to thank you for choosing us to represent you in the governance of your credit union. Unlike banks who have paid corporators and directors looking out for stockholders' returns, Greylock has volunteer directors whose primary concern is to carry out the will of the members. It is a high honor indeed to be entrusted with safeguarding your community cooperative. I've been grateful to serve as the chair of the board for the past 4+ years, and I'd like to thank all of those who have supported me along my journey. My sincere gratitude goes out to the board of directors and the entire staff who work so hard to make Greylock successful. This credit union is more than just a business. It's a community hub. It's an economic engine for the region. I believe that our greatest strength is our people. They're also dedicated and passionate about providing you with access to critical financial services. My goal during my term was to continue building upon the existing strengths while also looking toward the future with innovative ideas and solutions. Greylock has made great strides in the past few years, including building upon our legacy of strong governance, robust internal controls, with high marks year after year from our auditors and our regulatory reviewers. developing Greylock's core commitment to inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility for all. We started this journey with a lens of inclusion, but will continue to scale our commitment to financial inclusion with an intentional focus on equity. Opening our first Community Empowerment Center within our Kellogg Street branch in Pittsfield. The CEC is where anyone can access services and resources that focus on financial education and empowerment. Building our first branch in Greenport, Hudson, New York, to help serve our Columbia County, New York members better. Renovating our Allendale Operations Center in Pittsfield to have a state-of-the-art, full-service branch where we also launched our latest initiative, Video Teller Services. Welcoming the staff and members of the Credit Union of the Berkshires into the Greylock family. And keeping our employees safe while still serving our members throughout the pandemic. I'd like to take a couple minutes just to ask our staff to stand to be recognized. On behalf of the directors, we want to express our gratitude for your heroic leadership that you provided during these challenging times. In my closing remarks, we will continue to provide excellent service to you so that you can focus on what matters most, your family, your friends, and your community. Again, it's been my honor to help guide this credit union. Greylock will continue to serve you with integrity and compassion while serving as an anchor for our community's growth. I would like to thank you again for your support during my tenure. It has been an immense privilege and extremely gratifying. Thank you. I'm pleased to introduce our Diane Sopranowicz, our Senior Vice President and Senior Financial Officer. Diane?
Good evening, and thank you all for coming tonight. This is my report for the year ended December 31st, 2022. Loan growth was a major story in 2022 impacting Greylock's balance sheet. We experienced a near historical year of loan growth with an increase of $133 million or 12% over the prior year. We saw growth across all major loan categories, especially in residential mortgages, consumer lending, as total loan balances grew to $1.2 billion as of December 31st, 2022. To fund our loan growth, we utilized cash and cash equivalents, bringing those balances down to more normal historical levels. Overall, total assets remained flat at $1.5 billion from year to year. At the same time, deposits grew by $15 million or 1% over the course of the year and totaled $1.4 billion at the end of 2022. Achieving even this modest level of deposits growth was somewhat surprising, as many financial institutions experienced a reduction in deposit balances during what has been a period of high inflation. Our loan quality also improved again this past year, with loans 60 days or more past due falling from 59 basis points of total loans to 46, our lowest levels since 2006. In looking at net loans charge-off, we experienced a reduction of 9 basis points of average total loans to 4. Remarkably, the lowest levels we have achieved in more than 30 years. With another solid year of earnings and assets remaining flat to last year, we saw a healthy jump in our regulatory capital, which increased from 10.12% to 10.74%. Like all financial institutions, we did see a large increase in our unrealized losses in our available for sale investment security portfolio. This happens during rising interest rate cycles. We continually monitor the portfolio and feel that these unrealized losses will begin to reduce over the next few years, as many of these investments will be maturing and paying down. Net income for 2022 equaled $9.4 million, compared to $12.7 million in 2021. Our net income for 2022 represented a solid earnings year, while 2022's net income was an all-time high for us. Strong loan portfolio growth and rapidly rising interest rates, driven by the Federal Reserve desire to get inflation under control, increased our net interest income by $4.5 million. On the other hand, most of the increase in net interest income was offset by bringing staffing levels back up to fully reopen our branches and to keep up with the strong growth we experienced in 2020 and 2021, as well as pressure from rising wages. The primary reason for the drop in net income from the record level in 2021 were lower loan sales and security gains in 2022, and reducing overall fees from 30 to 15 per item in early 2022. In conclusion, 2022 was another good year for your credit union. We are confident heading into 2023, despite plenty of economic uncertainty remaining, with the Federal Reserve determined to raise interest rates until inflation is under control and the prospect of a looming recession in the near future. The good news is that our balance sheet and our capital are strong, and our solid earnings stream put us in great shape to serve our membership, even if we together face some tough economic times. Our board of directors and our experienced management team remain committed to meet your financial needs while keeping your credit union in great shape for the long term. Thank you.
Diane, thank you for that. Could I ask a motion to accept the Chief Financial Officer's report? Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. At this time, we'll hear from the annual report of our Supervisory Committee. I would like to thank all of our Supervisory Committee members for their diligence, especially Committee Chair Allison Bedard. This year, the report will be delivered on behalf of the Supervisory Committee by James McGough, our independent audit firm from Wolf & Company. Jim.
Good evening. I'm very happy to be here tonight to present this report. My name is Jim McGough. I work as an audit partner for Wolf & Company. We're a CPA firm headquartered in Boston. We also have an office in Springfield, and we work with approximately 300 financial institutions. Before I talk about the audit report, I'll just give you a brief update on the credit union industry. The National Credit Union Administration is your primary regulator. They control federal credit unions, and they control the insurance for your deposits. In their annual report for 2022, they noted that the credit union system performed very well in difficult times. It was economic uncertainty and rapidly rising interest rates, as you just heard. Credit union membership grew 4.5% to 135 million members, so there's a lot of people out there, members of credit unions, enjoying financial services. Total assets in the credit union system increased 5% to $2.2 trillion, so certainly not a small industry. And the aggregate net worth ratio for all credit unions was 10.7%, which is well above the regulatory requirement of 7.9%. So the industry is strong. Regarding the audit of your credit union, Greylock Federal Credit Union, we audited your credit union's 2022 financial statements, and we issued an unmodified opinion. That's as good as it gets. That just means the financial statements are correct. We did not have audit adjustments. The financial statements are in good order. That means the financial statements that you present, that management submits to the government quarterly, are also correct. We did not have adjustments to the financial statements. We follow generally accepted auditing standards, so there are rules as to how we do an audit, and we followed those rules. We are completely independent of the credit union. We report directly to the Supervisory Committee, We have a good working relationship with management, but our bosses, the supervisory committee, were there to make sure the numbers are correct. In performing this audit, we need to gain an understanding of the controls if we're going to plan our audit. That means we need to understand the IT systems. We need to understand how the credit union grants a loan, opens a deposit account, buys investments. We go through all those controls to plan our audit. And then we verify that management uses correct accounting principles. There are rules for preparation of financial statements, and management follows those rules. We test the estimates that are in the financial statements. Some numbers in the financials are not as hard as you might think. It requires judgment, and management has a process that they follow to support the numbers that are in their financial statements. And we had no complications as we went through and tested the estimates in the financial statements. And we did the basic blocking and tackling you see in an audit. It's not very glamorous, but we confirmed the cash, the investments, the borrowings, all with third parties. We send confirmations on deposit and loan balances to you all folks, the members. You might have received some of them to verify those balances are correct. We test all the reconciliations of material accounts. We perform analytical procedures. And that's how we do the audit. Management was responsive to all of our requests. We got what we were supposed to. I feel that they were candid and cooperative through the entire process. We got the information. It was in good order. It is a lot of work to facilitate the audit of a fairly large financial institution. So management, there's a good amount of effort that goes into that to complete the audit. And I can tell you the audit evidence we obtained is sufficient and appropriate to support our opinion, which is an unmodified opinion on the 2022 financial statements. I think the management team of your credit union deserves a great deal of credit for managing the institution and expanding services to members. I noted that you participate in government programs that brings money from the government to help the membership, rapid response program, community development, financial institution grants. This is all federal money that not every institution is eligible to receive. Your house has to be in good order, and management has to have a demonstrated history of deploying funds in the interest of its members for doing the right thing with the money. And you continually qualify for those types of grants, so it's very impressive. And you're profitable and your capital position is strong. That is the end of the report.
Again, thank you, Jim. Could I ask for a motion to accept the supervisory committee's report? Is there a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. At this time, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce our President and CEO, John Bissell.
How are we doing tonight? Isn't this amazing to be back together in person? This is such a beautiful crowd. My name is John Bissell. I'm your president and CEO. My pronouns are he and him, and it is a delight to be with all of you here in the beautiful Proprietor's Lodge with this stunning view and this amazing crowd. You are a sight for sore eyes and a weary soul, folks. We've been through a lot together, but here we are. Did you know that today your credit union brings together almost 100,000 members? Sometime this year, we're going to hit the 100,000 mark. Give yourselves a big round of applause for that. And every one of those members, every one of you has a story to tell. And we're actually going to start my remarks tonight with some of those stories. Ryan, you want to cue up the video? We're going to share a couple of stories with you, and then I'll be back. Thank you.
My name's Gary Flaherty, retired Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army. I had nearly 24 years in active duty, 3 years in Germany, 1 year in Korea, and 13 months in Vietnam as a combat tunnel rat. One of the highlights of my 24 years was being on the staff of President Reagan, converting from a draft army to a volunteer army. I have the privilege now of serving our veterans in Columbia County, and I do that 7 days a week. I'm also a volunteer to deliver Meals on Wheels. I do that once a week, and that is just a special event that I enjoy. Every time we moved in the Army, we had to change banks. And I probably had 12 to 15 different banks I've dealt with, not only in active duty, but since I've retired from the Army. And I've never been treated like I have by Greylock. I feel every time I walk in there that that's my family. They call you by your name before you practically get through the door. And it's just a feeling that you have. I'm so satisfied with it. All my staff now belong to Greylock. The young veterans coming home from Iraq, Afghanistan, getting settled in the community, part of them growing their family is having direction in their financial life as well. And as far as I'm concerned, Greylock provides that. The experience I've had in Hudson with the staff here, if that's an example of what you're hiring and staffing all over, that's perfect. I quit another bank to go there. Did I tell you that?
I'm Lisa Mendel. I teach business and art at Mount Greylock High School. I've been teaching here for 26 years. We received an email a couple years ago that Greylock was providing a free software program called Bonsai, and the students are taken through a scenario of a month of somebody's life where they get to see how people end up paying their bills.
My name is Willa Potsis. I'm a 9th grade student at Mount Greylock Regional High School. Out of Bonsai, I really got how to manage my money. I was not great at managing my money back when I was in middle school and elementary school, but now I know what credit is. I know how to really manage my money and how to make a budget, so I'm feeling very comfortable with money now.
The students benefit from it because it's a fun way to look and see how things happen when you're adulting.
My name is Malia Kofi. I'm a 10th grader at Mount Greylock Regional High School. Using Bonsai, I really learned how to separate my money into different categories. When I want to spend some money, I take some out and use it on the side, and other stuff that I save for bigger things in the future. So Bonsai really helped me with that.
As my students are growing into adults, Bonsai is a great way to help them learn to manage their money. I'd like to thank Greylock Credit Union for offering Bonsai to our students for free.
My name's Rich Whitman. I'm a member service rep here at Greylock Federal Credit Union. We have a fantastic translating service. It's called Lionbridge, and it lets us speak with any member regardless of what language they speak. Imagine you don't speak English or don't speak it well. Everyday activities such as going to the store, trying to read street signs, doing your banking can all be a big challenge. And at Greylock, we can't solve all those issues, but with Lionbridge, we can help you out with your financial needs. The first thing, we greet everyone with a smile, and from there we have a cheat sheet that we use with the members, and they can point to what language they need us to call Lionbridge for. Once we figure out what language the member needs, we get a real live translator right on the speakerphone. Hearing the translator speak their language, it puts the member at ease, and they just feel comfortable. I am here with Erica. She is a new member, and she is ready for you to introduce yourself.
Hola, Erika. Soy Carolina, la intérprete del español para esta reunión.
Here at our Kellogg Street branch, we use it multiple times a week, if not multiple times a day. Everything from Spanish, Portuguese, Creole, Korean, you name it. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but helping people, that's what we do here at Greylock.
Ay, muchísimas gracias. Estoy muy agradecida por poderme comunicar en mi lengua y poder obtener la ayuda que necesito de Greylock en estos momentos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. I'm really grateful to be able to communicate in my own language and be able to get all the help I needed from you.
Oh, thank you, Erica. That means a lot that you're happy, and it's our pleasure to help. When a member leaves my office, they know they've been heard. And that makes me feel good because I know they can grow with Greylock.
I'm Mackenzie Evangelisto, and I came to know Greylock back when I was working as a wellness program coordinator for Berkshire Health Systems. I was developing all these programs and integrating the financial wellness piece into it. So I came to know one of the financial coaches and worked pretty closely with them. I realized, hey, I could actually use a little bit of financial help too. I was able to improve my credit score, and it got me into a place financially where I was more comfortable, and I was able to quit my job and finally pursue my master's in nutrition, which I had been looking to do for a really long time now. I've been able to successfully open my own business called Harvest Health and Nutrition, where I see clients virtually. I help people fine-tune their nutrition so that way they can ultimately overcome chronic disease and illness. So we're healing through the foods that you're eating every day. Stress, particularly financial stress, really weighs in on overall health. And so working with Greylock, I realized I wanted to incorporate their free financial wellness services into my own website so that the clients I'm working with have a resource to go back to if they need those same services. It's been really lovely to be able to finally pursue my dreams.
Thank you to all of the members who are willing to share their stories with us. I want to particularly call out Mr. Gary Flaherty. Thank you so much from the Columbia County veteran community. Would you please stand and earn our applause, please? Thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for being here tonight. It really means a lot. I also want to give a shout out to our marketing team who worked hard to put that presentation together and this entire event together. And Jamie Elamachecki, she throws a hell of a party, doesn't she? Thank you, Jamie. It's wonderful to see so many of our community partners here. I won't start naming all of you, but it's great to see so many community partners. It's a real honor and privilege to have you joining us tonight. And my parents are here, George and Nancy Bissell. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being here. They not only brought me into this world, but introduced me to the credit union movement. My dad was a GE employee, so like many of you, my first membership would have been the Pittsfield GE Employees Credit Union. So there you go. Tonight, because Greylock is safe, sound, and secure, we can celebrate the stories we just heard in those wonderful videos. As a not-for-profit financial cooperative, we answer only to you, our member owners. We are not subjected to the wild swings of Wall Street speculation. We can celebrate Greylock's commitment to being the face of financial inclusion in the communities we serve, and we know that starts by leading with equity. We are honored to serve our veterans, our students, people of all gender identities, our neighbors from all over the world. Whether you're looking to improve your financial health, save for retirement, or get a checkup on your home or auto insurance, our 330 financial professionals are always here to help. And I am so grateful for the tremendous hard work of all of our teams throughout 2022. You heard Stan Walczyk talking about it before. Our 31 certified financial counselors provided more than 1,200 free private coaching sessions just last year. And you know how important it is to have a solid credit score these days, right? Well, 2/3 of the folks who receive coaching from our coaches actually see their credit score rise over time. And that's a tremendous benefit for them, just like you heard Mackenzie Evangelista say in her video. And you heard the story about the Bonsai program, right, from Lisa Mendel and her students at Mount Greylock High School. That same service reached 4,000 other students last year across Western Mass and Eastern New York. And Rich Whitman from our Kellogg Street branch, he showed the power of that Lion Bridge translation service all across our branch network just last year. Our frontline professionals delivered 1,825 hours of translation in 14 different languages. So far, that's only about 10% of the languages that we can access when we need to, making sure Greylock is accessible to everyone. And our teams continue to develop thoughtful approaches to closing the racial wealth gap, working as partners and allies with Black-led nonprofits to overcome the historic impacts of redlining and systemic discrimination. Please know that your membership, your participation in this financial cooperative makes all of this work possible. I invite you to review our 2022 Impact Report, which is on our website, the annual report also on our website, and I think on your table. Our work is better and more responsive thanks to our community advisory boards, who help us keep a pulse on everything happening across the communities we serve. I want to thank all the advisory board representatives who are here with us tonight. Can you please stand and be recognized? I know a lot of you are here. Come on now, stand up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really helpful. And now also, please join me in congratulating a very special employee, Anna Flynn. Can you please come up here? Yes, Anna, I'm talking to you. Anna does not love being the center of attention, but we have to make an exception because she has been with Greylock for 40 years. Imagine that. Anna, please come up and accept the token of our deep appreciation for your service.
That was really sweet.
How did we know? I don't know how we just took a guess. Anna is now the manager of our Williamstown branch. She's an inspiration to me and to so many other people. Anna, thanks for what you do. Here's looking forward to another 40 years, okay? That sound good? All right. And to all of our members, I want to thank all of our members for your partnership with Greylock. You can rest easy knowing that your credit union is safe, sound, and secure. You just heard it from our financial experts, and I'm just going to repeat a few of the fun facts that they shared with you. Our balance sheet is rock solid and it's straightforward. We service about $1.2 billion of local loans, $1.2 billion in well-performing loans for local folks, and we hold about $240 million in government securities that represent no credit risk. We hold $165 million in capital reserves, including $57 million above the level that our regulator defines as well capitalized. That is a huge capital cushion against any kind of recession or other trials and tribulations. Yes, let's hear it for capital ratios. You betcha. Your credit union was established in the heart of the Great Depression, and we are at our best during challenging economic times like these. Thanks to Greylock's financial strength, our 330 fabulous employees can keep doing what they do best, helping to create opportunities for everyone to grow and thrive. And now, in closing, I want to thank our amazing volunteer board of directors and supervisory committee for their outstanding leadership, especially our board chair, Stan Walczyk. Stan, I'm so grateful for your steady leadership over the past 5 years. I recall clearly, I'm sure you remember it as well, in early 2020, as news of the pandemic began to spread and we knew that we had to get ready, you and I participated in a webinar that featured testimony from a PhD public health official out of Boston. And with your background as a pharmacist, I'm sure you understood even more quickly than me how disruptive this would be, how much our lives would change, and how people in the community would be looking to Greylock now more than ever as a beacon of hope. And despite all that pressure, Stan, you never flinched and you never wavered, and our board never missed a beat as we moved from conference calls to GoToMeeting to Zoom, and now thankfully back to in-person gatherings like this one. And because of your strong support, Stan, and the support of all of our board members and volunteer supervisory committee members, our employees could play a vital role as financial first responders, keeping those drive-up lanes open, keeping those phone lines open, doing all those Paycheck Protection Program loans, everything our community needed to keep the economy running. So Stan, as I welcome you back to the podium to close out the meeting, I want to give you a small token of our appreciation. Come on up, Stan. And don't open this until later, okay?
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Before we adjourn, I would ask if there's any other business to come before the membership. Yes, sir.
My name is John Bissell. I've been a credit union member for well over 50 years. I have never replaced the credit union. However, I have a concern, and I would like to make a motion. Make a motion for the Greylock Federal Credit Union to change its policy of issuing a check via the Greylock Federal Credit Union bill pay system to pay the Greylock Visa bills. Should I start again?
You're good.
I move that the Greylock Federal Credit Union change its policy of issuing a check via the Greylock Federal Credit Union bill pay system to pay Greylock Visa bills, to making it an overnight electronic payment.
I'll take that as a motion. Is there a second? Second. Okay, I have a second on a motion. We're in discussion. So anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Right now, with the system, I paid my Visa bill this morning. It shows up that it will not be received at least maybe until April 4th, and maybe before or after that. To use a Visa credit card paid by the Greylock Visa paid by Greylock Credit Union, it should not be a 10-day process to be received. It should be an overnight electronic. I can pay my MasterCard overnight electronic with the Greylock bill pay system, but I cannot pay the Greylock Visa with an overnight bill payment.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you, number one, for your longstanding membership with the credit union, for bringing this issue forward to us. You and I had a chance, thank you. You and I had a chance to talk about it earlier, and I agree with you that is something we would really like to improve. And you had offered an amended form of the motion for us to explore that, if that's okay with you. That's what we would like to do, and we are, in fact, busy on that right now to try to make that better. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
We have an active motion and a second. Any further discussion before I call action on the motion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you. I am still under that part of the agenda where I'm asking if there's any other business that needs to come in front of the membership. Hearing none, I ask for a motion to adjourn. Thank you. Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. For the very last activity of the night, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to ask Jamie Ellen Monchecki, our Senior Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer, to draw the 12 door prizes. Jamie Ellen.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. So I have the cool task, and a great helper. So let's see who the lucky winner is. The first winner is Bob Monahan. Monahan? Yes? So if you raise your hand, Darrell will be there to give you something. The second winner is Gina Blake. Right up here, Darrell. The third one is Mary Killian. Woo! I can count here. The fourth one is James Burke. Thank you, Jennifer. The fifth one is Mary Ellen Baker. Oh. The next one is Dolly Colas. Colas? The next one is Mary Jane Dunlop. There's 12. I don't know what we're at now. Maggie Sheehan. this line. Mimi Piper. Anne Filio. Two more. Two more. A lot of Anns here. Anne Marie Rock. So one more, right? And the last one is Jane Butler. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone, for coming tonight. That concludes the annual meeting. Enjoy yourselves. Make yourselves comfortable. I think the bar is open. Take care. Be safe out there.